So, hello and welcome back. Yesterday, we were talking something about what you are. It was the first question of the pyramid question, and today we would deep dive in the second question, which is who you are or who am I or whatever it is. But then we would dive a little deeper. Just to recap, what we said yesterday was uh, yes, the first question of what you are is all about this three primary set of roots, which is what you are physically, what you are psychologically, and what you are emotionally. The three stages of your personas, physical, psychological, and your emotional, uh, creates what you are. Since what you are is a very solid foundation of our second question, who you are. So, who you are is a very metaphorical question, but then that metaphorical question is psychologically involved in the first question about your foundation. It is much more needed to traverse into our very third question of what you want. So, who you are, as I said, it is a metaphorical question. This question comes from the basis, from the grounds of your self belief, about your self conviction, about your willpower. Self belief, self conviction, and your willpower. Now, let me explain it further. When I am saying self belief, yesterday when I was saying about what you are when no one sees you, same. Who you are when no one sees you. Like, what sort of thoughts do you think when nobody sees you? What sort of beliefs do you hold for yourself when no one is around you? Matter of fact, it is not needed for anybody to be around you, but then for your own self, for the sake of your own mind, for the sake of your own body, for the sake of your own happiness, who are you when nobody is around you? Okay. And what sort of things do you think about your own self? Right? I mean, like, is somebody saying to you that you look ugly? Does it really matter to you? Let's say somebody is saying you are a dumb, you are a retard. Does it bothers you? And do you try to register it in your mind in a negative way or a positive way? I'll explain you in much more detail. Like, somebody has created this bullying pattern to you that you are a fatso, you are not able to run, you are not able to uh, sprint, you are not able to jump, you are not able to walk, you are not able to climb. Does it really mean that you can't do it? Because if it means that you can't do it, then it might be because you don't have the physical structure to process that activity. But if without trying you are implementing it right, you are registering the fact into your brain that you are not able to do it, then that is the thought that you are permanently imprinting in your brain. That is a belief that you are pushing yourself towards. Okay. Again, self belief comes from the thoughts and the opinions, the ideas you hold for yourself, irrespective of what people say, irrespective of what your peer says, irrespective of what your teachers, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your neighbors, your dog, your cat, your maid, whatever, whomever says you. This is how beliefs are developed. Beliefs are nothing but thoughts that are reinforced through time. If you constantly keep on saying yourself that you are not a good communicator, in a very short interval of time, you would try to evaluate yourself that you have developed a very low self esteem, you have developed a very poor confidence within yourself, and due to which you are not able to communicate, and this is a reason why you are not a good communicator, which is completely wrong, which is completely false. Self belief is something that often people think that it is the fact, which is not. Self belief, the word self belief is something that you believe in yourself. If that belief is created by you yourself, then that belief is properly dismantled by you only. You can easily pick that belief up and throw it out. It's that simple. For that, you need to reinforce or reconfigure that belief into something positive that is associated with your life. Second thing is, so about the self belief, it is easily reconfigured and rewired, as it is something that you reinforce within yourself. More importantly, I would say that thoughts are so liquid, thoughts are so fluid itself, that whatever you say, whatever you speak, whatever you feel are thoughts. The more you feel oppressed about yourself, the more you feel upheld about yourself, the more you feel blacked out or backed out about yourself, the more you start fearing and doubting yourself. And the only thing that you can do is start and constantly repeat good about yourself, even if things are difficult, even the things are not possible for you to do in the current instance. But this is how you create a moral, you create a sense of understanding for your own self, that this thought becomes dominant thoughts, which reinforce it as a self belief. So as I was saying about this self belief, this is the easiest way to reconfigure and rewire it. The second part is self conviction. Most of the time, even for us to give some positive reinforcement, there is a rooted conviction that you need to give yourself, and this comes through self belief. Importantly, your thoughts are something that gives you self belief, and this is something what gives you those thoughts of self conviction. The more you think positive about yourself, the more you think that yes you can, the more you think that this problem is very solvable and I am working on it, it is easily copeable. Yes, you have pretty much self convinced yourself. This self conviction part is done there and there. And the third part is will. For doing anything, you need a stronger will, you need determination and some sort of discipline. Not a hardcore discipline, but certain level of imbounds and boundaries that would help you to achieve anything that you want. So it is much more advice for anybody to just work on the thoughts. Once you take care of your thoughts, you take care of your self belief. Once you create a stronger self belief, you create a good sense of self conviction. And the point where you are self convinced and self convicted towards yourself, the willpower increases, and this is how confidence and courage works. And this is who you are. In very simple layman language, this is who you are. It is not something external, it is very internal, which you can find it out. And the easiest way to do is to sit down, take a pen paper for 15 minutes in a very quiet place, answer and re-evaluate, question yourself in very easy terms, that what your thoughts are, what is holding you back, is there any negative self emotions or self beliefs that you have ever induced. As everybody comes from a different family, a different background, different peer and environments, people have been putting this negative and self-limiting beliefs since our childhood. So it is much more advised to take care of yourself in a very core level, which is asking right questions to your right self, finding the answers, which I said, what are your thoughts? If there is a negative thought, replace it or reconfigure, rewire it with a very positive thought. If you are not able to reconfigure, rewire it, then put a very positive affirmation. I'm not saying in a very mystical term, affirmation in the sense in a very positive line, that let's say it's hard for you to do a math, then just say it is difficult, but I am practicing. I am practicing and I am getting good at it. This is a very simple line thing that you can give fuel to your thought, which would create a self belief, and in this process you will create a good self conviction. Not everyone is good at math. It takes time, it takes a little bit of iteration, it takes a little bit of mistakes to get good at math. This is how practicality works. So it is never external, it is internal. If your thoughts are very clean, it is very positive for your own development, you are able to find who you are. And I think I have answered this very question of what you are and who you are in a very practical layman language for anybody to understand. And these were the two foundational questions that I promised you to answer. Now, tomorrow we would be discussing about what you want and how do you find what you want. Once you get to know what you want, it's an easy piece of cake. And that's it for all, and we'll meet tomorrow.